walk out, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected to his...
These scandals come and go, but what's happening right now with King Harris has shocked everyone. The Harris family has dealt with plenty of public drama before, but nothing comes close to this. Tonight, people around the world are anxiously waiting for news about King Harris, who's currently in the hospital's intensive care unit, seriously injured and fighting to stay alive after what people are calling a vicious attack inside a Georgia prison. The information coming out from inside the prison sounds unbelievable. Reports say King was beaten unconscious after being attacked by multiple inmates in his housing area. Prison guards rushed to help him while the situation got completely out of control, leading to the entire facility being locked down immediately. According to sources, he was quickly taken to the prison's medical unit under heavy security, with his face badly swollen and bruised, barely able to move. Medical staff worked hard to get things under control as a massive fight broke out, leaving several other prisoners hurt as well. If you're thinking this was just a random prison fight or some kind of typical newcomer hazing, you'd be wrong. People familiar with the situation say this wasn't something that just happened by chance. This was planned. Inmates apparently went after King in what experts are calling a deliberate and well-organized attack. Some people think it happened because he kept showing off his money and famous lifestyle. Others believe it was meant to send a clear message that when you're locked up, being famous doesn't protect you, and showing any sign of weakness makes you an easy target.
Yeah, so him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, you know, it just...
Interview too, when word got out, social media went crazy. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with people's reactions. While some people felt genuinely sorry for him and were shocked by what happened, others made fun of King, saying he finally discovered what the real world was like and couldn't deal with it. The Harris family is reportedly in complete crisis mode right now, desperately trying to find out what's going on while rumors spread that this might not be the only time King gets attacked. Social media platforms exploded with instant reactions, wild guessing, and of course, tons of conspiracy theories. The first bunch of unverified stories suggested there were ongoing problems with other inmates. Someone close to the Harris family revealed that King had been targeted for embarrassment weeks before this happened, chosen deliberately rather than randomly. Another person connected to prison employees said King was already disliked inside the prison, hated both because of his family's celebrity status and his own loud behavior where he acted like he was in charge of the place. Prisoners who agreed to speak without giving their names said they had warned him to be careful, telling him he was too loud, too arrogant, and completely unprepared for life in prison. All of a sudden, the threat stopped being just words and became real violence. The Harris family's reaction has been total panic. We're told T.I. hasn't gotten any sleep since the attack happened. He's been frantically calling lawyers, politicians, and anyone who might have any power over the Georgia prison system. One source in Atlanta says T.I. has already promised to pay whatever amount of money it takes, make any deal, or even agree to keep quiet about things if it means getting King out safely before something worse happens. It's hard to believe that the rapper who calls himself the King of the South is now begging for help, but that's exactly what's happening right now. At the same time, Tiny has apparently set up her own command center, working with publicists, attorneys, and media contacts. Behind closed doors, the famous couple's strong partnership is falling apart. Sources say the fights between T.I. and Tiny have become intense, with each one blaming the other for how their son ended up in this terrible situation. People close to the family aren't even sure if T.I. and Tiny are working together to help King or just arguing with each other while their son's life is in danger. The family that always presented itself as rock solid is now completely falling apart under this pressure.
Do that if it wasn't for family hustle. Right. And it does come with some, it's some adversity. Mm-hmm. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your bed.
Yeah, but here's where
the situation gets even more confusing. Rumors are quickly spreading that this attack wasn't about some small argument or random conflict. Word is there was a drug deal gone wrong inside the prison, and King either refused to go along with it or even worse, tried to cheat the wrong group of people in a place where trust and loyalty are everything. Making that kind of mistake can get you marked for violence. So what actually took place? Was this simply a disagreement that got out of hand? Or was King Harris specifically targeted by inmates who felt like he had betrayed them? People connected to the official investigation say there's proof he was tricked into a trap. They claim King was convinced to go to a certain area of the prison where at least 3 men attacked him while the security cameras conveniently stopped working. The prison officials say there was no technical problem, but people on the inside don't believe that explanation. As one of T.I.'s former tour managers explained, "This is Georgia. Security cameras stop working when certain people want them to stop working. That tells you everything you need to know." Meanwhile, King's medical condition is still serious, and the family arguments are now happening in public. We've watched the Harris family stick together during tough times before, but never anything like this. Fans still remember that explosive moment at the Falcons game when T.I. put King in a headlock while streaming live on Instagram during another heated argument about how he was raised. "You are embarrassing yourself and your family," T.I. told him while security people rushed over and Tiny tried to calm everyone down. Back then, many people thought that was the lowest point for King, but this prison attack shows that things can get much worse. Now, with King in a hospital bed and the Harris family's private problems being discussed all over the internet, it's obvious that the famous Falcons game incident was just practice for something much more serious. This isn't about family reputation anymore. It's about staying alive.
I'm not on the media's good side. I don't know why, but it ain't.
Inside the prison, King's situation was never going to be easy. But recently, people say it became downright dangerous. Multiple sources say he was constantly made fun of because of his parents' controversial scandals, including those ongoing human trafficking accusations that continue to follow T.I. and Tiny, and by connection, King too. King didn't help his own situation either. Reports say he made things worse by trying to show off on social media even while in prison, challenging other people and promoting himself as Atlanta's next big star. But the older prisoners weren't impressed at all. "We're not here for some reality TV show." One former inmate told us directly, "We don't care who your father is. If you don't pay your debts or you talk too much, you get dealt with. That's how things work in here." And now King is learning that lesson the hard way. On the outside, T.I. is using every connection he has. Sources say he's threatened to go public with serious complaints about how the prison is run, while his team is also quietly trying to get friendly news stories published. The plan? Take the blame off King and put it on a broken system instead. It's a typical strategy from the Celebrity Damage Control Handbook. But is it too late to help him? That's the question everyone watching this situation is asking. And underneath all the desperate attempts to fix this mess, one scary thought keeps coming back. What if this is exactly what happens when you raise a child to think he can't be touched, and then real life hits back harder than anyone saw coming?
Reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sale that my clients want justice. So the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny.
Making things even worse are rumors from 3 different entertainment industry insiders who claim the Harris family's troubled legal past may have made King an even bigger target in prison. Everyone knows his name has come up in connection with those ongoing trafficking accusations. These claims first appeared years ago and have never gone away. The people making these accusations have suggested there's a complicated pattern of bad behavior, supposedly led by the Harris family itself. Sabrina Peterson, the former friend who started this controversy, even went public threatening to release damaging evidence that would allegedly pull not just T.I. and Tiny, but King himself into even deeper legal trouble. The federal government may not have filed charges, but in the public's mind, that reputation damage lasts forever. And while the Harris legal team works around the clock to stop one scandal, another story emerges. We've heard whispers about a secret deal that went wrong. King's name supposedly written on an illegal goods list, a promise that was broken, and word getting around that he either told on someone or didn't make a payment he owed. Is it just prison rumors, or is there truth to it? People on the inside claim that in prison, the cost for crossing the wrong person is always paid with violence. Add to that King's wealthy upbringing, his reality TV background, and the Harris family's long history of attracting controversy, and it's easy to see why he became a target for every angry person in his housing unit.
Dynamics here are interesting, but I can't judge how the parenting has gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this. A lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this in the
T.I. and Tiny's marriage is starting to look like a bomb ready to explode. Behind closed doors, sources say they're having major disagreements about how to deal with King's downward spiral. Tiny reportedly wants a gentler, more protective approach, blaming the prison system and outside forces. But T.I. is said to be getting more aggressive every day, believing their son needs tough discipline, not excuses, convinced that only force and powerful connections can save their son. T.I. has gone into complete overdrive, but one source close to the couple says this is the worst crisis they've ever dealt with together, worse than their reality show getting cancelled, worse than the complicated Los Angeles lawsuits, and even worse than the public embarrassment of that viral Falcons game headlock incident. This isn't just another news story. Their family's entire reputation is at risk. The emotional pressure is enormous, with both parents lashing out while the rest of the Harris family gets caught in the crossfire. Looking at the big picture, the stakes couldn't be more serious. King, who used to be the spoiled troublemaker of the Harris family, now faces a harsh new reality. With every new headline and every panicked phone call from his father, the question becomes louder: will this story end with him turning his life around? Or are we watching the complete destruction of one of hip-hop's most famous families? And digging deeper, all the signs point to the same frightening possibility. The most shocking details about this attack and what really happens to a famous person inside prison haven't even been revealed yet.
I really admire his dedication and commitment to the craft, because, I kind of told him, what was wrong about it. Making mistakes. I ain't had no daddy who would pull up and get on my ass anytime. Things I did, you can't get away with.
I know that.
Man, damn. Yeah, that's I ain't see that one coming. You know
Really?
what I mean? Nah, I didn't.
We're watching in slow motion as the brutal realities of prison life destroy the carefully built image of celebrity privilege. All the wealth, all the connections, even a powerful family name, none of it provides protection behind those walls. Prison works by completely different rules, and King Harris, just like so many people before him, is learning those rules in the most painful way possible. Those rules are established through violence and enforced without any mercy. And they've always been simple. Respect comes from loyalty and trust, not from autographs or fame. In a place where yesterday's hit songs mean absolutely nothing, staying alive is the only thing that matters. Famous inmates are actually in more danger, not less. And that reality is affecting King Harris worse than anyone thought it would. In a place where survival depends on making the right friendships, staying quiet, and earning respect, the very thing that made him famous might have been what destroyed him. Was King's celebrity status the real weapon that was used against him? That's the terrifying question that's bothering everyone as we try to understand what happened after an attack that has left the Harris family shaken and facing dangers they never expected.
Yourself outside of the public opinion.
People closest to this situation emphasized that this wasn't just about King as an individual. It was about everything he represented the moment he walked through those prison doors. He brought the Harris name with him, the reality TV history, the fame, and that well-known reputation as T.I.'s most rebellious son, all two men who are already serving decades in prison. That makes him a target for jealousy, anger, and settling old scores. More than one prison guard has admitted privately that inmates like King often get used as bargaining tools in the power fights between different prison groups. He became a piece in someone else's game. One source who previously did time in Georgia's prison system explained, they see someone from the outside world with headlines following them, and they want to send a message to him, to the other prisoner, and to everyone watching from the outside. Add in the rumors of a failed drug deal and the constant drama surrounding his family's scandals, and it's clear King was in serious danger from his first day there. But this isn't only about physical fighting and violence. Inside prison, mental games can be just as dangerous. Every word spoken, every look given, every rumor spread can be either a warning or the first step toward another attack. Reports show that King's privileged childhood made him a target before he ever entered a prison cell. Some inmates hated him for what they saw as an easy life, the expensive private schools, the flashy music videos, the access to lawyers that most people could never afford. Others felt insulted by his attempts to act tough and play gangster when everyone knew he had spent more time in reality TV studios than on real street corners. Attorneys are working day and night, trying to control the story behind the scenes. Meanwhile, the family itself is completely split on what to do next. Some insiders say certain relatives are asking for caution. worried that making more noise will only put King in more danger inside prison. Others argue that staying quiet means giving up, claiming that the Harris reputation can't afford to look weak when facing such a public crisis. Throughout all of this, the rest of the Harris children are walking through dangerous territory, getting pulled into speculation about everything from confusing paternity rumors to old family arguments being brought back up. The separation between private family pain and public scandal gets smaller every hour. Each new leak, whether whispered by a prison guard or shared by someone claiming to be a family friend, just makes the situation worse. And as the pieces start fitting together, the bigger consequences can't be ignored. King's near-death experience reveals a harsh truth. The legal system doesn't make special exceptions for celebrities. It destroys you completely, famous or not, if you can't learn to survive its brutal power games. No amount of family wealth, media manipulation, or hip-hop royalty status can change the fact that inside those walls, the only thing that really matters is raw power. What started as a fight over respect has turned into a battle for survival, not just for King Harris, but for the entire Harris family legacy. And while T.I. works behind the scenes, desperately trying to outsmart a system that has already destroyed so many lives, the chain reaction from this prison attack might just be getting started. King is fighting for his life, and with every news headline, it becomes more obvious that this isn't just one isolated attack. It's the beginning of a much darker story. So one question remains: is King Harris a victim of his family's fame, or is there something much deeper causing all this chaos? Could this prison assault reveal secrets and rivalries so explosive that no amount of damage control can stop them? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because when it comes to the Harris family, the drama never stops. Stay alert, stay interested, and until next time, keep watching closely. You never know whose story is about to take its next unexpected turn.